Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, December 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I would do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol LCID. Big mover today, and now we have ourselves a good solid pattern. And as I draw this pattern, please realize I'm not trying to impress you. This is not some sort of great discovery. A lot of people have noticed this pattern, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some good dynamic movement. So let's get the first part of this pattern drawn. So there's the resistance portion of it. And then we have the support portion of it. Let me change that to green for support. And then to make the pattern easier to see, let's just keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upward move right here. This would be a bull flag pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it reasonable to think that if the price comes up here and breaks up through that level, and like I mentioned earlier, even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but is it reasonable that if the price breaks up through there, that could generate additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like this price range down around the sub $5 mark, you like bull flags, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol LDTC. And what I like about this one is just such a well-defined breakout point. So going back to that talking topic of the self-fulfilling prophecies, I assure you a lot of people have noticed this dynamic right here, that whenever the price has gotten up, right up around within a couple pennies of the $1.85 mark, it is found pushback and resistance, which is not to say that therefore the price can never break through it, but it does mean that, you know, there's going to be a lot of people, especially breakout traders, watching, wondering, if the price comes up here and push up through there, because I'm a breakout trader, that would be a breakout, which means I'm supposed to buy. And then you can just get people buying just because something is breaking out. And when you have a well-defined level like that, once again, it guarantees nothing, but it makes it reasonable to think that if the price were to push up through there, you could get a nice upside break. So definitely $1.85 main area of resistance as far as supports are concerned. Get that drawn into play. So green line right there. And then just from a pattern standpoint, we have our area of resistance. We have our support. We have the big move up like that. And this one's a little bit different, not quite a bull flag, but to make it more visual, put the golf ball down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So again, does not mean the price is going to go upwards, but is it reasonable to think that the price chops around a little bit and then gets a push to the upside, that break could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. Next one here, ticker symbol SOUN. Had a bit of a pullback today during that opening 30 minutes, which can be seen by that red candle right there. But overall, everything is still perfectly fine. There's a little bit of perspective that goes into it. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yeah, from that standpoint, the chart's looking a little rough. But even from that standpoint, it's not like it was a massive crash or anything like that. And overall, the chart is doing just fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this level here. It's served its purpose for now. And from just the overarching standpoint, as I talked about on Friday, as long as the price does stay above that purple line right there, which on my chart is denoting the 50-period moving average, then everything is perfectly fine. The bulls are still in control. They're in full health. However you can best visualize that, that is what that purple line is representing. And you can see that even with the pullback here, price didn't come anywhere close to even testing that purple line. As far as areas of resistance, the level that I did talk about on Friday still does definitely pertain at 1510. Now, granted, the price was broken through it, but that didn't last very long. And the price fell back below. You can see the price, that one area went basically right back to acting as resistance again. So $15.10 will be the main battleground moving forward. But like I said, all in all, sure, today, a little bit of annoyance with that opening 30-minute pullback, but big picture-wise, everything is still fine. Next one here, NIO, and I'm going to go through this one quicker. Want to respect your time, and you've already heard me talk about this pattern and heard me give all the kind of disclaimers. Just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to work its way upwards, but nonetheless, let's just still get it drawn into play. So there's our support and resistance, and just because I can't help myself, let's keep it the same color. Resistance, support, big move up right there, golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern, and this is on NIO, and I say that because NIO, pretty popular stock, even maybe borderline cult stock a little bit. So when you have a well-defined pattern on stocks that are pretty popular, it makes that whole idea of a self-fulfilling prophecy that much more possible. So keep an eye on this if you like this price range and you like bull pennants, as this one has a very nice, solid textbook bull pennant. Next one here, ticker symbol GXAI, and same general idea. I want to respect your time, but we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. So resistance, support, big move up. This would be more of a bull flag pattern. So if you're someone that likes bull pennants, bull flags, and as you've quickly realized, headed into Tuesday, there's quite the variety. So again, if you like the price range around the $5 mark, you like bull flags, here you go, GXAI. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a link down in the description box you can use to sign up, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one, NVDA, and a rough move today, not necessarily because it was red, but just because it's now dropping down in these other areas of the chart, which again, does not mean the entire chart's destroyed. But this was a former consolidation range, and then you got the beautiful breakout through it right there. But now the price, where it stands right now, is right back inside of that former consolidation area. So again, does that mean the entire chart is destroyed? Absolutely not. But the pattern is the chart is starting to look more and more shaky. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of these lines up here as they've served their purpose for the time being. And no need to, overcomplicate this with a bunch of clutter. But the first key update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So moving forward, if there is any sort of attempted bounce back upwards, then that 140, 43-ish area, 140, let's just call it 140.50. 140.50 will be that main level. And you're also going to want to keep an eye on that pink line right there. 200 period moving average, same general idea. That was an area of support, but after today with the price now down below it, you would expect it and think that it's probably going to act as a resistance. So keep an eye on those dynamics if there is any sort of attempted bounce. In terms of next areas of support, the level that I would definitely say, again, it's not a do or die level, but pretty important is this area down here, this gap close location at right around the 135.50 mark. Because if the price were to go down here, so if the price comes down here and then breaks down through there, now all of a sudden you'd have the price all the way where it was back at these lows in in late November. And, that's not exactly a sign of strength when you have a big move up, then all of a sudden you have the price going right back to where it was. So I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why 135, while not a do or die level, it is pretty important because you just don't want to see the price make that sort of, return back to where it was. So the week is young. We'll see how this continues to play out. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this is definitely a very tricky chart to talk about from a presentation standpoint. As I alluded to earlier, it's all about perspective. So I totally understand if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying this morning right there, or maybe you bought the dip right there, and you're buying, planning on buying and selling, 7 minutes later. From that angle, things look really, really bad because that was a nasty pullback. With all that being said, if you do care about the bigger picture standpoint, even with the big pullback, the chart is still perfectly fine. And the easiest way to see that is even again with that big old pullback right there, price still isn't anywhere close to even testing that purple line, let alone breaking down below it. And then you factor in the even bigger overarching moving average, the 200 period right there. So you have the 50, you have the 200 period. Price is not anywhere close to either of them, staying, well above them, which just tells you that from, again, overarching standpoint, everything is fine. And I'm trying to emphasize words because I do understand if you're some sort of scalper day trader and you bought right here, I sound crazy right now to be calling things bullish, but I'm calling things bullish for those people that care about the overarching standpoint. So keep an eye on those levels from a support standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, in the very near term, keep an eye on the 390 mark. And if the price can push up through there, then yeah, you got a chance, in my opinion, get back up into the fours. And then I also will just point, check it out, last 30 minutes, good solid green candle here. So is this the start of a bigger move back to the upside on Tuesday? We'll see what happens. Next one here, PLUG. I suppose I should have put this at a different location in the watch list just because you've heard me talk about this. So maybe I should have knocked out all these patterns at the same time, but that's right. Whoops, did not mean to do that. So there we go. So I'll just turn this into a learning lesson here. What am I about to call this thing? If you're new, yeah, we're getting some real life learning. So resistance, support, nice upwards move there. If you're saying, Clay, this is a bull flag pattern, you would be correct. So I would say the biggest difference here is this is down below the $5 mark. Other ones were up around or over the $5 mark. But yeah, here you go. PLUG, another choice if you're someone that's looking for a bull flag. Next one, RGTI, and same general idea of Tesla. I mean, it's hard to talk about based off of perspective. Day trader scalpers that bought right there, wanted to buy and sell within 3 minutes, not looking good for them. There was this big old pullback here, but if you do care about the bigger picture standpoint, price is still well above previous lows. So even if I do this, just from an even bigger standpoint, so we had a set of lows there, then we had lows there, then we had lows there. Then you had some lows there, and now you're having lows right there. If you envision those as stair-steps, you can see that, yeah, stair-steps very much so still in the upwards direction. So assuming you do care about the bigger picture point of view, everything is still perfectly fine in that regard. From the overarching standpoint, if you just want to make it easier, just continue to watch that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So as time goes by and that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above it, then everything is still perfectly fine from a bigger picture bullish standpoint. In terms of areas of resistance, in the near term here, key level before, in my opinion, at least you start putting too much focus on, these highs up here above the $5 mark. Price first needs to prove itself right there at about $4.70. But like I said, big picture wise, even with the pullback today, the bulls are doing just fine. Next one, BBAI, same exact thing. So I'm going to go through this really quick. You get it, day traders. Yes, I get it. For them, things are not looking good as there was this big pullback here. But with the pullback, and if you just look at the lows, so we have a low there. We have these lows, these lows, these lows, these lows, stair-steps again. You can see stair-steps very nicely in the upwards direction. But if you don't feel like doing the stair-steps, as I just talked about, use that purple line there, 50-period moving average as the overall trend gauge. So as long as the price stays above that purple line, bulls are in full health. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground before you start focusing too much on, going back up to those highs, right there at the $4 mark. So if you're someone that still believes in this trend, but you don't like to chase momentum, you're always looking for pullbacks. So if that's you and you still do believe in the overall trend, here's your pullback right here. And we'll see if it can get continuation back up, build another higher low here. And then who knows, maybe by Friday, be back up over $5, or not back up over $5, but get over $5. So we'll see what happens if this trend can continue or not. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but for you stock traders out there, one final time, if you enjoyed what you saw and you want to learn more about the tool, how it can and definitely should be used, and get signed up for the class later this week, it'll be Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And also, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, if you would like for me to continue to make them, a super easy way to show support and just help out the channel is to hit that subscribe button. It really does go a long way. So if you could do that, I thank you in advance. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and I want this video to remain relevant for as long as possible. So by using some longer time frames and then taking you through some questions, that'll keep this analysis relevant for as long as possible. So as right now, yeah, things are, overall things are fine for Bitcoin. But as I speak right now during this 4-hour candle, the price has fallen back inside of this breakout point right here. So at this exact moment in time, the main question right now is, all right, how bad is this pullback going to get? How far down into this consolidation range will it be? So question number one you need to ask yourself, and let's just say you're watching this video 20 hours from now, is where is the price relative to that red line there? If in any way, shape, or form you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is up above, back above that red line, that's a good thing. That at least means that the price has leveled out and is no longer pulling back any further. Now, common sense will also take you far if you're saying, well, Clay, not only is the price above the red line, the price is actually all the way back up around here. Well, that's telling you that this breakdown that we're seeing right now was a totally false breakdown, and things have all of a sudden just snapped back around, which would be a very bullish situation. But if you're saying, well, Clay, actually the price is still down below that red line, next immediate question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 92,500, that green line? If you're saying the price is down below there, again, I'm not going to say the chart's wrecked, but that would be a red flag that something's not quite right, something has changed. Or maybe you're saying, well, Clay, the price is down below the red line, but it is still up above here. At that point, that would just be consolidation, right? It would be some sort of consolidation inside of this previous area where it was before having broken out. So just because it's fallen back inside of the breakout area, like I said, it doesn't destroy anything, but it just puts it into this previous range where it had already been consolidating. So if the price is between these two lines, then it's essentially just back to consolidating where it was several days ago. So keep your eye on those levels, walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep this relevant until I'm back to update things once again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to get signed up for this class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So go get signed up. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, December 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. and I hope to see you there. And also, as I mentioned earlier, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, if you appreciate me doing Bitcoin, and you're looking for just a super easy and completely free way to help out the channel, please hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.